The idea is this is the launch to the vision board parties that we're going to have, and so lucky to be joined by some really awesome people that are doing some amazing things. And my advice is to, is to be curious and ask people, you know, about their stories, because there's really something powerful about other people's stories. My question for you, Charlene, is as we are cutting, pasting, and visualizing some of our goals and dreams, what sort of evidence can you share with us in terms of how has it worked for you, being that you've had such an amazing track record of success in your endeavors? Walk us through that process for you and how that sort of materialized in your role.
Definitely. I have a few bits of evidence that I wanted to share with you. The one thing that I would encourage you to do is to start to look at your life, no matter how big or small. You can find little pieces of evidence, things that you wanted that showed up. Because manifesting is about staying in the flow, and staying in the flow is about having faith. So faith is just like any other muscle. It needs to be strengthened every day. So I'm going to put my planned pieces of evidence aside and share with you something that happened this morning. This morning I came in bright and early on the first ferry because my partner Ben and I live on the Sunshine Coast. We live in our dream home. And I came bright and early to do a yoga class with my friend and my favorite yogi in all of Vancouver, Cielo English. I walked to the studio and no one was there. It was closed. I was like, this is so weird. So I didn't know what to do because I didn't have to be here till this afternoon. So I walked over to the WCA and just thought, okay, well, does there happen to be a yoga class starting at 10:30 because I have time? I was meant to go to the yoga class at the Y with a great teacher named Mike. And what Mike taught me today, between my power yoga session when I was expecting just a nice hatha flow, was to sidestep or to deal with the fear of failure. You need to learn to be okay with the fear of falling. And every single speaker that's talked today, and I could join in the same conversation, has told us about things that they wanted, and then the recession hit, and then things that happened, and now they're okay. Falling is totally okay because that's how we learn. And just evidence of just something small today, just needing to be in that right yoga class, to hear that right message, to come and share it with you, it so ties in with what every single speaker before me said, and I can join in that same story and tell you my own experience. But I think what I'd like to just leave that point with is just watch for things show up, no matter how big or small, that evidence that what you want is happening. Every time you recognize that. What we get so carried away with, we're so busy that we put it out there, it happens, and we don't stop to celebrate it. So we're not strengthening that muscle. We're not recognizing that that evidence is showing up. When we moved over to Gibson's, I really wanted to live right on the ocean, right on the waterfront. And 10 years ago, I actually brought my collage to show anyone that wanted to look. A collage that we did up in 2004. And we pulled out a picture today from that collage and literally set it kind of side by side from some pictures that I brought of our place that we're living in now. 10 years later, it's pretty close. Yeah, pretty bang on.
Exactly.
So it does, it really does,
pretty much.
It does happen. You just have to acknowledge it.
Yeah. Beautiful. Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I have to go next one. So talk us through about staying in the flow, because actually Vanessa and I, funny enough, were talking before the new year about being in the flow, and I said, wow, I'm having the same conversation with somebody who might be able to expand on that. So, so what does that mean? And yeah, sort of describe.
Well, there's two parts to it that I want to share with you, and I'll save the latter part till the end because that's exactly what you're doing. You're so intuitively doing it by building community. And the last speaker that's got the cornucopia happening is doing it, building a community of supportive people around you. Staying in the flow for me is understanding that it is a process, just like anything else. And I think that our experience with physical fitness and training your body in a certain way was meant to teach me that it is a process. It's a process. You do A, B, and C, and sometimes you fall off, so you go back to doing A, B, and C, and you understand that it just takes some time. But creating the life you want is also that process of learning, what do I need to stay in the flow? What do I need to live in faith and of faith? And for me, it's about a daily practice. So there's three little bits that I wanted to just share. And the first one I did, staying in your practice, is recognizing evidence that what you're doing is working. When I work with women and they've been training hard and they've been trying to eat right, and they're getting really frustrated, but as soon as they look in the mirror and they see that change is happening, they feel that change is happening, as soon as they acknowledge that evidence is showing up, it starts to just really, momentum builds from there. And I've noticed it the same with people in my life in terms of creating what they want. As soon as you acknowledge that it's working, it's going to work gangbusters. The second part is just breaking it down till it's doable. If someone walks into our studio and says, yeah, I need to drop about 50 pounds, or I'm going to run a triathlon, or whatever their goal is, if they don't believe in their heart that they can do it, if they honestly don't believe it, my job is to break it down until the tiniest piece possible. And trust me, I've broken it down to like a fraction. And once I can get it to a point where they feel it's doable, then we're on track. So if I'm going to put a big Lamborghini on the center of my vision board, but in my heart, it's like I'm still trying to save up for my new Mini Cooper, right? You got to break it down until it feels believable. So don't ever be afraid to ask for help or to sit with a mentor or a friend and just say, you know what, this is my goal, but I don't even know the steps. Like, can you help me break this down? How do I get from A to Z? It's like training for a bodybuilding show. It's 5 months out, you know the date, you work it all backwards, and then guess what? You get to work, and you just believe that you can do it, and you just keep doing it and doing it and doing it, and results start to show up. The last thing I'm going to say, and this is something that I think we all need to learn to do better, is about finding your voice. And PowHERhouse is very much about finding your voice. Sometimes I think that we feel that we're self-centered or egotistical if we talk about what we're going after and what we really want, because it's like, well, it's not all about us. But how can people help you in your community if they don't know what you want? How can they link you up with connections? Like, you're so great about linking people. I love linking people. Like, if I hear what you need, I'm already, my Rolodex, from over 13 years of working with women. And Sarah's great at this too. It's like, like, oh, I know somebody to talk to. You need to find your voice. You need to get really clear about what you want, and then tell everybody. Tell people that, be authentic, and tell people they're more than happy to do what they can to help lift you up and lift you forward. That is all part of what building community is about. Yeah, so that's, those are the 3 steps. It's just watching for evidence, break it down till it feels doable, and finding your voice. And PowHERhouse is basically a supportive community. We launched in October, and it's very similar to this. It's about, okay, we're a group of like-minded women. We have big goals. My goals are to help more women feel confident enough to stand up into leadership positions, whether that's with their family, their own community, in the province, in the country, internationally. And the world needs more feminine leaders. I'm sure of that. And as soon as we start stepping up into more leadership roles, I think some really, really great positive changes is happening. It's starting to happen right now. I think 2014 is going to be a huge year, and it's all around us. So we help each other to stay in the flow, and lifestyle management, taking care of ourselves, is the very center pillar of what we do.
And it's so crazy for me in my own world that I'm meeting some inspiring people as I'm launching my blog, right? Really finding that voice, and I think it's really understanding, well, why are we doing what we're doing, and sharing with people why, you know, really what's under. And I think that for me personally, in the last even couple months doing so, I've met some amazing people that are really taking me to the next level, and understanding that it's okay to ask for help. I'm a very self-sufficient, I can do this, I got this type person, you know, that's the type of person I am. But there's no, you can't grow. You can't grow when you think you can do it on your own. And so I'm so happy we met.
Yeah.
And really inspired, and I think that 2014 is going to be a really amazing year as long as we continue to support each other. And yeah, is this the picture of your home? I'd love to see it.
I'm just going to quickly show you,
God.
and then I'll tell you briefly what my goals for 2014 are, so we can see if they happen at the end. So you're welcome to look at this after, but I did bring you a few pictures of our home in Gibson's, and we aim to live like millionaires, even though we're not millionaires. And at the very center, because really it goes back down to what are you most grateful for in your life, and that's my partner, because without relationships and without love, there's nothing. This is our studio that's in Gibson's Landing, if you ever want to come over for the day and do some different kind of fitness for a whole different purpose. In 2014, I have a spring event for PowHERhouse coming up, and that's where I really want to get Eileen Fisher's attention. And I'm putting it out there that my partners for the event are SFU, Minerva, the YWCA, and potentially Eileen Fisher. And then the last one is there's a conference coming up in New York City in October called Changing the World, and I want to talk at it.
Yeah, thank you. Like a mental yoga, I feel. My mind's being stretched. So we're going to take a 2-minute break.